All right, let me get rid of this. Let me bring up my camera. If it wants to work. Hold on, getting the camera up. OBS is weird. I don't know why. One second while I get through the camera issues. All right. Let me try this again. There we go. All right. Stream is live. Thank you for everybody who's here. Let me adjust this angle a little bit. Nope, wrong way. There we go. All right. Thank you to everybody who's here. It is officially Sunday football. And so let's talk about the games real quick. Let's see how it goes. All right. I'm going to pull up the schedule over here on ESPN. And so we got the Baltimore game. And then we had the Green Bay Philadelphia game. I'm officially 0 for 2 on my bets so far. I bet Baltimore +2, and I bet Baltimore +3, Green Bay +2. And I lost both of those, so that's super great for everybody. It's beautiful. So I'm currently 0 for 2 on my NFL bets. But we got a whole beautiful, just look at it. Just fucking look at it. Sunday slate of NFL games coming up. So let's start with my favorite team, as you can tell, the Miami Dolphins. Got my Larry Zonka jersey, the lucky Larry Zonka jersey. Still hasn't seen a playoff win, but we'll get there. It'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. All right, and so big news this morning. Tyreek Hill and Calais Campbell were detained by police officers literally driving into the stadium. So that's a good sign, I guess, apparently. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. But that just means Tyreek Hill is going to go Scotty Scheffler out there. He's going to go out there and just do great things and have the best day of his life. So I feel good about it. However, it could be a very bad sign. But regardless, we got the Dolphins at home, 1 o'clock, September. They got the South Florida heat, the South Florida humidity. They got the sun on their side to Bills fans' dismay. And I feel good about it. Like, they're 3.5-point favorites. And last year, Dolphins were 9-1 when they were favored. The only loss being that Monday night game against the Tennessee Titans, which we don't talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about that Titans game. It didn't happen. All right. I did not cry myself to sleep. No matter what my wife says, she's a fucking liar. Okay. I wasn't crying. It was fine. But anyway, Dolphins are favored. Dolphins usually win them when they're favored. According to the ESPN analytics, 60% chance of winning. It's hot. It's South Florida. The sun is on their side. Now, they did just release the list of inactives, so I want to check that out real quick. Pull that bad boy up. I love that Tyreek Hill getting arrested is trending, and then also Scotty Scheffler is trending. That's beautiful. All right. Okay, we got the inactives. Jalen Wright, which is a real bummer. He's a really good running back, but he's also like running back 3, so it's fine. Oh, man. Ethan Bonner, the white cornerback savior of the world. Rose Park's white corner agenda takes a hit. Okay, so none of these are like overly impactful injuries for the day or inactives for the day, so I'm fine with it. Our backup center, it's okay. Aaron Brewer is going to start despite being hurt all training camps. I feel good about that. Malik Washington, preseason hero, is not going to play. It's also fine. Like, he was going to be mainly a special teams return guy anyway, so that's not the end of the world. So none of these, except for Ethan Bonner, our white cornerback king doing work, it's all fine. Like none of these are gonna hurt the team. So all the big stars, all the big players are playing. Tyreek Hill has the Scotty Scheffler get arrested before the day juice on his side, so that's a beautiful thing to see. So I think the Dolphins are going to win. I like Jacksonville. Like I have no issue with it. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think Doug Peterson's a really good coach. Like if you watched my AFC South preview, I kind of feel that I said the same thing. Like Doug Peterson took Nick Foles and the Eagles to their first championship ever. Like he is objectively a good football coach. Trevor Lawrence has all the talent in the world. He hasn't put it together. His offensive weapons, like they're not terrible, but they're not great anyway. And like I don't know. I don't think their defense is particularly like unbelievable or particularly good or particularly bad. So I feel pretty confident the Dolphins are going to win. I'm going to take them at negative or at -3.5. And I think that's how they get their first win, or my first betting win of the year is Dolphins -3.5 against Jacksonville. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you believe on that. But yeah, I'm obviously going to take my team. Some people are saying they're going to like blow out and beat Jacksonville by like 20, 30 points, whatever. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a relatively close game. But yeah, I mean, you never know. All right, let's go on to the next one. We got the Arthur Smith Bowl, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Atlanta Falcons. This one's kind of weird for a lot of different reasons. Russell Wilson may or may not play. Let's see if the Steelers listed their inactives. I don't know why I exited out Twitter when I was just going to go right back to it. But let's see who's going to play for them and who's not going to play for them. Let's see. Come on, internet. No, it doesn't look like they put out their inactives yet. Okay. So we'll keep an update on the Russell Wilson situation. It's still up in the air whether or not he's going to play. Maybe ESPN, our good old boy Adam Schefter has some more going on about it. Doesn't look like there's any news on ESPN. Okay, so in my opinion, if Russell Wilson plays, if he doesn't play, it doesn't make a difference. Like Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are the same quarterback. You cannot tell me differently. You cannot convince me otherwise. Both really athletic dudes who can run, but don't really throw with like anticipation or those kind of throws. Like they're not the best at reading defenses or running kind of a quick timing, quick hit offense. Which I don't think that really matters for Arthur Smith because Arthur Smith doesn't really do that. He's more of a run the ball 90% of the game and then just chuck it deep with a good play action pass. So I have no clue. Now, like, I personally am very high on the Atlanta Falcons. I know people have told me I'm an idiot for saying that, but, that's their prerogative. If that's what they feel and what they think is right, then, you can call me an idiot. I don't mind. Now, with that being said, they are incredibly talented. Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, despite never having fantasy output to everybody's dismay, is still an incredible tight end. Like, he's very good at what he does. I don't know. This one's weird. Is it in Pittsburgh? No, it's in Atlanta. Yeah. I think Atlanta wins, but I don't think they're going to win by a lot just because the Steelers' defense is really good. 4 points is a lot of points. 4 points is a lot of points. It's a low over-under. I think Atlanta wins the game, but I'm going to take the Steelers +4 just because Mike Tomlin doesn't lose big unless it's to the Browns in the playoffs in 2020. So yeah. Steelers +4. I'm gonna put. It's gonna be a bet. I'm gonna put Steelers +4. I think the biggest issue for the Steelers defense is figuring out how to stop Bijan Robinson, and nobody's better at keeping Bijan Robinson down than Arthur Smith. So he knows what he's doing, keeping him in line. My wife's out there doing crazy stuff in the kitchen. Sorry for that. Yeah. Yeah, this is just a weird game. I want to see what Kirk Cousins looks like coming back from the Achilles, playing in a new team, new offense. But like, I still think he's really good. Like Kirko was one of the, before he got hurt last year, statistically speaking, he was like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, dude was unreal good. So I feel pretty good about it. I think he's going to be fine, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm taking the Falcons to win this one. All right, we got Arizona at Buffalo. Buffalo is 6.5 point favorites. They have a 66% chance to win, according to the ESPN analytics. Here's my thing. I want Buffalo to lose this so badly. I want them to be bad this year. I want them to look horrible and terrible. I hate that team. I just don't want good things for them. I never want good things for them. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. And like he's going to do crazy Josh Allen things. And as much as like people might think they're going to have a down year, their defense got gutted, like all this different stuff, like he is still Josh Allen. Oh no, I realized I had my stream up in the background. I am so sorry to all of you who had to endure that. But yeah. It's just, I don't know. I don't know, man. The Bills are going to be good. The Bills are going to win this game. They probably cover. But man, I don't want them to. It's truly my dream to have them not be good. Like nothing would make me more happy. But at the end of the day, they're still going to be good. Josh Allen's still going to do Josh Allen things. I want to see what that defense looks like, though. And, I don't think the Cardinals' offense is that bad. Kyler Murray is objectively, a good quarterback. He has his faults, but, he does that crazy, run around, looks like a toddler, throwing the ball, chucking it all over the place. And, that works to a certain extent. The whole thing with Kyler Murray is he dedicated to the game and the whole video game thing and whatnot, and I don't know. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is really good. He was a monster at OSU. He's probably gonna be a monster in the NFL. They don't really have a whole lot other than him. I know people think what's their tight end? What's Arizona's tight end name that I can't remember for the life of me, that everybody on the fantasy world thinks is really good, but I just refuse to believe it. Trey McBride. Yeah. Everybody thinks Trey McBride is out there being a world beater. I don't personally buy it. I have high hopes for their rookie running back. I would like to see him be good and do big things out there on the football field. I don't know though. Their defensive roster isn't that good. I do think Jonathan Gannon is a good defensive coach though. So I could see the path. I could see how the Cardinals can somehow sneak in there and win, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I still think the Bills win. I might take that plus 6.5. I'm a plus sign sniper. If you have followed me on Twitter long enough and I posted my bets long enough, if you know anything about me, it's that I look for the big spreads because it's a lot of points. A lot of points. It's also the first game of the year, or first week of the year, so crazy stuff happens. So I think the Bills win, but I think the Cardinals cover, and that's all I had to say about this game. I do just want to see the Cardinals put up just a ton of points on the Bills defense. It's a high over-under at 48. And they got gutted in free agency. Matt Milano got hurt. They got some defensive ends that looks like they're not going to play. So I would love for the Arizona Cardinals just to put up a ton of points on Buffalo. Regardless of whether or not they lose, I just want to see that defense get decimated. That is my dream. That is my goal. And we'll see how it goes. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that game. Josh Allen's still going to do Josh Allen things. He's going to run around. He's going to score touchdowns. He's probably going to throw a pick. Just how it works. And yeah, that's all I got about this one. All right, we got the Bears versus the Titans. The Bears are 4-point favorites, which is wild to me. I mean, like, I get it. Caleb Williams is Caleb Williams, and I think, like, okay, if you watch my NFC North preview video, I had not nice things to say about the Bears. Like, I thought personally it was going to be another situation where they had a lame duck head coach and then they picked a first round quarterback and they ruined him, just like how they did with Mitch Trubisky, just like how they did with Justin Fields. Now, with that being said, after watching Hard Knocks, and I know it's Hard Knocks, like whatever, and watching the preseason, I have since changed my opinion on it. I don't know if the Bears are going to be good this year. That's to be seen, but I think they're in a much better position to succeed than they had when the last times when they picked the lame duck head or quarterback with the lame duck head coach. And I don't think Tennessee's that good. But I mean, they surrounded the dude with like good receivers. Like Keenan Allen's getting old, but he's still not bad. What's his face? Rome Odunze out of Washington. Like he was one of the best receivers in college football last year. So I think he's going to be very good in the NFL. Their offensive line isn't bad. They got DeAndre Swift at running back, and Khalil Herbert isn't a bad running back either. Their defense is actually pretty good, and like Eberflus is like a defensive coach. And like I don't know, everything I've seen, it seems like they're putting Caleb Williams in a position to succeed, where they did not put where they did not put Justin Fields in a position to succeed. They put Mitch Trubisky in a position to succeed, but it's Mitch Trubisky. Like what? I like Mitch. He seems like a nice guy. He had the kissing titties tweet. Like who doesn't love that? But like, buddy threw some bad footballs in his day. So yeah, I don't know, but I think Caleb Williams is like infinitely more talented than Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields. I think they're putting him in a better position to succeed than those two. So I am changing my opinion on the Bears than I did from my NFC North video. So if you watch that, I don't feel the same way. I don't think the Bears are going to be like a Super Bowl contender, maybe a borderline playoff team. Just really depends on how quickly Caleb Williams develops. But like I'm bumping them up to like 7 to 8 wins. I think their offense is going to be a lot better. Now the real question is the Titans. Like their roster is still bad, and I like Will Levis. I think Will Levis was a really good college quarterback, and he is a good NFL quarterback. He had some like not great games last year, but when you come out firing and throw like 4 or 5 touchdowns in your first NFL game, like how he did last year with DeAndre Hopkins in his like at age 62 as your primary receiver, like the dude's got some talent. Like he made some impressive throws. He did some good things in the pocket. The way he moved around kept things alive. Like I like Mayo Man Will Levis. I don't like the rest of their football team or their coaching or how their general manager operates the team. Like that is my issue with the Titans. Is like I literally like Will Levis and nobody else. I thought getting L'Jarius Sneed on defense is good. The rest of their defense just isn't that good though. I don't know, man. Like, I don't get why you fire Mike Vrabel, of all people. Like, the dude took you to an AFC championship game. And, like, yeah, last year was not good for the Titans. They were 6-11. Things were rough. Ryan Tannehill looked washed and over the hill. They didn't have a good offensive line. They didn't have good receivers. They still don't have a good offensive line. They still don't have good receivers. But I think if Will Levis develops a little bit more into year 2, he's going to win them some games that they shouldn't win. But I don't think that's this game. I think the Bears at home, Caleb Williams' debut, I think they're going to win. I think they cover the 4-point spread. I don't think that overhits. Like I could see the Bears getting like 21 to like 28 points, somewhere in that range. And like I don't think the Titans are going to get near 20 points personally. Like I said, their offense line is just bad. It's just real bad. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that game. Just taking a little break before I get to the next one. Thank you all for all of you, all 2 of you, 3 of you, who are here watching. I appreciate it. It's first Sunday stream of the season, so I am hyped. If you got any questions for me, throw them in the chat, but just want you to know I appreciate you. If you have opinions on the game, you disagree, agree, whatever, let me know. I'm doing this just because I like doing the videos and I like scripting those out and posting them, but some of my favorite things is going back and forth with you guys in the comments. So I want to do this just so if any of my 10 to 15 fans in the world want to interact with me directly, you have the opportunity to. So yeah, thank you for watching and thank you for being here. All right, let's go to New England Patriots versus the Cincinnati Bengals. 7.5 point spread. Like I said, I'm a plus sign hunter. I'm going to bet the Patriots. They're not going to win. I don't think they cover. But like 7.5 points is a lot of points. It's a lot of points. Yeah, Patriots are bad. Like the Patriots are real bad. That dynasty, it is done. It is dead in the water. Tom Brady is gone. He's at Fox. Bill Belichick is gone. He's on ESPN doing Pat McAfee stuff and stuff with Peyton Manning. And it just like, as somebody who just watched the division rival win 6 Super Bowls over the course of 20 years, while like I still haven't seen my team win a playoff game, it just feels good to know that they're officially dead. And that makes me so happy. Yeah. And their offense, man, like, I like how they pretty much just spared Drake May, their first round draft pick, like who objectively looked better in the first round or in the preseason than Jacoby Brissett, but they just spared him and said, yeah, we're, going to start Jacoby Brissett over him because that offensive line is so bad and they don't want to just have their rookie quarterback murdered back there, which like I really respect that on a fundamental level. The receivers are bad. Ramondre Stevenson is their running back. Like, I think he's okay. But like, God, that offensive line is just so bad and so hard to watch, and I love it, and it makes me feel good. Now, pro tip for all you fantasy football people out there, what I do and what I'm going to do is I just pick who I think is going to be the worst offense in the NFL every year. And then for my defense, special teams, I just pick whatever defense is playing against them that week if I can. So my strategy for this year is whatever defense is playing the Patriots, that is the one I'm going to start in my fantasy football league. So Bengals, week 1. If you haven't already, I know you guys drafted in its first week, so you're probably not making like free agency move over. But I promise you, if you pick up the Bengals defense, you're going to be incredibly happy with them because the Patriots are real bad. I saw the Jacoby Charcoal Brisket experience up close in Miami in 2021 behind a bad offensive line with not good offensive coaches. And yeah, it's not pretty to watch. You're not going to like what you see. So I promise you the Patriots offense isn't going to be good. But man, 7.5 points, it's a lot of points. I might bet on the Patriots. We'll see. Now, on the Bengals side of things, Joe Burrow is officially back, so that's pretty sweet. And Jamar Chase is apparently not going to play. I still don't know. Like, he's got like an illness, which to me means he's still not happy about his contract dispute, whatever, his contract situation. So he's just not going to play, and they're going to classify it as an illness or whatever. Yeah, that whole situation's weird. Like, the Bengals are, I don't know what their ownership's doing. Like, just pay the dude. Like, he's one of your best receivers. He's incredibly good. Like, why aren't you just paying the guy? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So, I don't understand, but whatever. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Let's see what the Bengals got going on offensively. Their depth chart. Oh, they picked up Mike Gesicki. Oh, good for him. Penn State legend, former Dolphins legend, Mike Gesicki. Apparently, they revamped their offensive line. I still don't think Ted Karras is that good of a center, in my opinion. Like I said, I watched the Ted Karras show in Miami. I watched the Mike Gesicki show in Miami. It wasn't pretty. I do like Zach Moss. I do like Chase Brown as running backs, but they're not Joe Mixon, which, it's fine. They're going to be fine. And then T. Higgins is apparently not playing, so that's not great. I don't know anything about this Trent Irwin dude. I don't know if Jamar Chase is playing or not. So it could be a rough return to the NFL for Joe Burrow without his two favorite receivers. But once again, they're also playing the Patriots, who are garbage. So they might be just fine. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think the Bengals win outright. Do think the Patriots will keep it relatively close. I mean, it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I think despite the Patriots' offense being hot garbage, their defense is still, not terrible. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But Bengals win outright. Patriots cover. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to bet that. And then I already talked about the Dolphins versus the Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's hop into the Panthers versus the Saints. Woo! Good God. Good grief, if you will. Man. It's a 40.5 over-under in a dome. Oh, that tells you a lot about these two offenses, doesn't it? Man. I think the Saints are going to be the worst team in football this year. That is my bold take, my hot take, if you will. But the Saints are no bueno. They're just not good. I don't think Dennis Allen is a good football coach. I don't think Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in the world, but I don't think he's the best quarterback in the world. Slant boy Michael Thomas is probably just never going to play football again. I don't even know is he still on the Saints? No, he's not still on the Saints. Where did he go? What happened to Michael Thomas? Is he still playing football? Where's his Wikipedia page? There it is. Okay, so he just apparently just retired. Well, let's see. Okay, yeah. So apparently he's just a free agent who he's probably never going to play football again. Okay, now that we went down the Michael Thomas rabbit hole. Yeah, I mean, I like Chris Olave. And I like Alvin Kamara, but man, Alvin Kamara getting up there, almost 30-year-old running back, it's not going to go well for him anymore. Personally, in my opinion, I like Rashid Shaheed. That name is dope. That name is straight out of a Key and Peele sketch, and that tells me he's going to be a good receiver. I like Chris Olave, but two things you can't get around. One, Derek Carr, not a good quarterback. Two, offensive line is bad. And it doesn't matter when you have Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and low key, I like Cedric Wilson Jr. too. I think he's a good receiver. He's not the best in the world. He was okay, but yeah, things are not going to go well for the Saints this year, and I think their defense is real bad as well. Now, on the flip side, Panthers I find interesting. I like Dave Canales as a NFL offensive coordinator. I am interested to see if he can translate to the head coaching role. It's one thing to be a good offensive coordinator. It's another thing to be a good head coach. So I'm interested. But I like Dave Canales. And like I really like Bryce Young. I think dude got no love last year. Like his receivers were bad. His offensive line was so bad. He didn't have a like there was nothing around him for rookie quarterback, and he had Frank Reich as his head coach, who like loves tall quarterbacks. Like if you look at like Frank Reich's history with like the Colts and like his offensive like coordinator stuff, all of his quarterbacks were like 6'4", 6'5" or taller. Like he likes a big quarterback, and then he got stuck with Bryce Young, who like Bryce Young's short, and there's nothing wrong with being short. It's just not a good fit for what Frank Reich wanted to do. But like David Tepper is an idiot. It's like, no, you have to pick Bryce Young because I want you to pick Bryce Young. And once again, this is nothing against Bryce Young. It's just not a good fit for what Frank Reich wanted to do. And Frank Reich didn't know how to adapt and make things work for Bryce Young. So it was just a really bad situation. But I think with Dave Canales, kind of like how Mike McDaniel did with Tua, I think he could come in and help him out and make him, not terrible. So I don't know. I don't think the Panthers are going to be a good football team. They got a lot of issues. Like I like Xavier Leggett mainly just because the name Leggett. I kind of want to see what else they got. Deontay Johnson is fine. Adam Thielen, prime Adam Thielen, great. Current Adam Thielen. They got my boy Robert Hunt at guard, who's like a really good guard. Like I think that was a really good. I mean, they overpaid. They overpaid for Robert Hunt. Like he was not worth the contract that they gave him. But you have to overpay when you're a shitty team who is trying to build up a good roster on a like rookie quarterback salary. Oh my God, Andy Dalton's still on that team. Oh, good for Andy. He's still in the NFL. What a guy. Anyway, when when you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie quarterback salary, like yeah, you kind of just have to overpay for free agents. Like I get it, and I'm sad, but I get it because I wanted Robert Hunt to continue to be a Dolphin. He was one of my favorite offensive linemen. I loved him. It's fine. We lost him. It is what it is. Defensively, I don't think the Panthers are particularly great. I don't think they're particularly terrible. Like, I like Jadeveon Clowney, Jordan Fuller, Michael Jackson. Great name, by the way. I think they have a decent secondary. I think they have a decent linebacker core. I think they have a decent defensive line. I don't think any of it is like, world breaking. They're going to be great. But, like, I don't think their defense is – their defense is, like, middle of the road. So if they get some offensive production, which I think they will – like I said, I think Dave Canales is going to do good things for this offense, but it's going to take time. So, and their weapons just aren't that good. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm picking the Panthers to straight up win this game. Like I don't think they're not just going to cover. They're going to beat the Saints like plus 3.5. Like that's the easiest bet in my life. I don't care that's new in New Orleans. I don't care that's in the Superdome. The Saints are bad, man, and like the Panthers are going to beat them. So you heard it here first. That's my pick for this game. Okay, we got the Vikings versus the New York Giants in MetLife in New Jersey. It's +1 Giants, so they essentially just got that little minor boost because they're at home, but essentially the NFL thinks it's a pick'em game. According to ESPN Analytics, they also think it's a pick'em game. I feel like Kevin O'Connell and Brian Daboll are the exact same coach, but just on different teams. I think they're both really good. I think they're good at what they do, but they unfortunately just get screwed over quarterback-wise. Like Kevin O'Connell last year, Kirk Cousins got hurt, which is just a big bummer. And then they had the Josh Dobbs experience, and then I forget who else they played at quarterback last year. But it was weird things going on in Minnesota quarterback-wise last year. Same deal with Daboll. 1, Daniel Jones is bad. 2, Daniel Jones got hurt, and then he had Tyrod Taylor, and then he had the Italian stallion, Tommy DeVito. And so I feel like they're the same coach, just both really good offensive coaches. Like they know how to scheme up running games. They know how to work with receivers and do this stuff. But the quarterback play has just not been there for them last year, at least. in 2022. Yeah, 2022, both teams made the playoffs. And Giants actually beat the Vikings in the playoffs. And Daniel Jones had a miracle year. Kirk Cousins had a really good year. That was the year where like somehow, some way, the Vikings would like squeak out a win at the end of every game. So they're the same coach to me. I think they're both really good coaches. Just roster wise, they're not great. Now, the Vikings receiving core is leaps and bounds better than the Giants receiving core. Like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison is better than like who I don't even know. Well, Malik Neighbors, but like Malik Neighbors' first game as a rookie, he's probably going to be fine in his career. I think he's going to be a good receiver, especially what he did at LSU. But like rookie receiver in his first game, like he's not same level as Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So like I like Malik Neighbors, but takes time to develop or whatever. The Brian Flores defensive experience, like he's going to kick the shit out of the Giants offensive line because the Giants offensive line is bad. Their quarterback is bad. Like Brian Flores is going to have his way with the Giants. That's what he does. And then he's going to get into an important game against a good team with a above average to good offense, and then he's going to give up like 42 points. That is the Brian Flores experience. I am sorry, Minnesota Vikings fans. It just happens. I don't want it to happen to you. I like you, Minnesota fans. I've been to Minnesota, the Dairyland of America, salt of the earth people. You are good people. But Brian Flores, when you need him most, he will bend you over a barrel, and you're not going to like it. So I'm sorry, but it's happening. Now, I do really like J.J. McCarthy, who they picked. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and he's now dead. And that's really sad for everybody involved. He looked great in the preseason. He had that like one bad interception, which like he knew it was bad. Kevin O'Connell will tell you it's bad. Like we all knew it was bad. But those 2 touchdown throws, especially the one on the far sideline where he ripped like a 40-yard bomb, like the dude has a hose. And what I like most about J.J. McCarthy, and I'm totally stealing this from Brett Coleman's video because I watched it and it was really interesting, the dude doesn't get shaken up at all. Like things could not be going his way. He could throw a bad pick. He can get the crap kicked out of him. He can get sacked. And he's just going to stay steady. And I think that's like an incredibly underrated talent for a quarterback, is just not getting rattled. And I thought J.J. McCarthy was the best at it, personally, from what I watched in the preseason. And I'm kind of bummed that he's hurt because I really want to watch him play. And now we're going to get the Sam Darnold experience. And speaking of somebody who never gets rattled, Sam Darnold, like, just almost always gets rattled. Seeing Ghost experience was lit. I laughed as a Jets hater. One of the greatest moments of my life. But I think the Vikings win this game. I don't think Sam Darnold is that bad. Like, I think Kevin O'Connell knows how to work with quarterbacks. And, like, I don't think he's going to be a world beater, but I think he's going to be average to above average with throwing to, great receivers, and has a good offensive coach. I think Flores' defense is going to kick the shit out of a bad Giants offensive line and bad quarterback, because that is what Brian Flores does. He kicks the shit out of bad teams and then just dies against good teams. So yeah, I think the Vikings win this game. I take a -1. That's an easy bet in my mind. I don't care if that's on MetLife. I don't care that's in New Jersey. Yeah, Vikings, they win this one easily, in my opinion. We got the Las Vegas Raiders against the Los Angeles Chargers next. I like the Raiders a lot. I like Antonio Pierce as the old school. I'm going to come and I'm going to punch you in the mouth and you're not going to like it. I think they have a really good defense, like Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, 2 incredible defensive players. Devontae Adams is still a very good receiver. I like the pick they had of Brock Bowers out of Georgia. I like the Raiders overall. My only issue with the Raiders is their quarterback situation. I thought Aiden O'Connell showed a lot of promise last year as a rookie. I don't think he was like as bad. He was nowhere near as bad as Jimmy G. I don't think anybody could have been as bad as Jimmy G last year. But I thought he showed promise. Like, I like him. I like Gardner Minshew as well. I don't even know who's starting in this game. Do they? I know like last time I heard the Raiders starting quarterback situation. Okay, so Gardner Minshew is starting. Yeah. I think Gardner Minshew throwing to Devontae Adams is going to be fine for him. I think he throwing to Brock Bowers is also going to be fine for him. I like Michael Mayer. I thought he played pretty well last season too. I have no idea if their offensive line is good or not good. I honestly didn't watch a whole lot of Raiders play last year, so I can't tell you about it. But Max Crosby is one of my favorite defensive ends in the entire NFL. Christian Wilkins, I loved him and I miss him on the Dolphins. He wasn't worth anywhere near the contract that Las Vegas paid him. So like I'm fine that like they let him go, but I think he's a really good player. I think he's like a good locker room vibe guy as well. So yeah, it was kind of a bummer to see him go. But I think like their defensive line is just studs. I like Jack Jones. He made a lot of impressive plays last year. I think their defense is good. Like this Robert Spillane dude, I remember watching him in that Monday night game against the Jets last year. Like dude was all over the field just making plays. So I like the Raiders. I'm high on the Raiders. I think Gardner Minshew can do good things if given a chance. He almost brought the Colts to the playoffs last year. So I feel good. On the opposite side, I like Jim Harbaugh as a coach. I mean, the dude wins everywhere he goes, like Stanford, San Francisco, Michigan. Like he's going to be a good coach for the Chargers. I don't think it's this year though. I mean, good grief, their offense is just so bad. Like Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, fine running backs, not great. Joshua Palmer, not good. Quentin Johnson, not good. Lad McConkey, he is our hope for the new white slot wide receiver, like a Wes Welker or Julian Edelman type, I believe. Their offensive line is really good. I will give them that. Is like Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. Like I fell in love with the dude. He's just massive and just mauls people. But their defense is kind of old and injury ridden, in my opinion. Like I don't know, man. Chargers are weird. Maybe just because I'm a Justin Herbert. It's probably just because I'm a Justin Herbert hater. But the Chargers are weird. I don't think they're going to be good this year. Yeah, I'm picking Raiders +3. I think the Raiders win it outright. That's my opinion on this game. All right. We got Denver at Seattle. We got the Bo Nix experience. They are 6.5-point underdogs? Okay. All right. 1, how are the Seahawks 6.5-point favorites against anybody? 2, I think Bo Nix is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think he fits into Sean Payton's offense and what Sean Payton wants to do incredibly well. Like the quick hit, like that. It is the Drew Brees, like just step back, hit your back foot, throw, let it rip. And I think Bo Nix is very good at that. Like he had a weird career at Auburn, and I think it was because he didn't have the best coaching in the world, which like is fine, you know? Like I don't think Bo Nix is like a Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes type talent where he can go out there and just be a world beater regardless of like coaching or whatever. But I think if you put him in a good system that fits his strengths and fits what he wants to do, put a good team, receivers around him, like I think Bo Nix will be successful in the NFL. And I think he fits exactly what Sean Payton and that offense wants to do. And I think he fits it really well. Like of all the rookie quarterbacks in the preseason, Caleb Williams, and outside of arguably J.J. McCarthy, but J.J. McCarthy, we had a much smaller sample size because he only played one game, and I think he played like 2 or 3 drives, something like that, if I remember correctly. But outside of those two, I thought Bo Nix had the most impressive preseason. Like, he had the anticipation throws. He had the quick timing. He was very accurate. He made some athletic plays on the run. Like, I like Bo Nix in the Broncos, and I don't get why they're plus 6.5 against the Seahawks. Like, and you know, I like Mike Macdonald as a coach. I think he's a very good defensive coach, but that defensive roster isn't great. Like, I love their rookie cornerback or their second-year cornerback, the dude out of Illinois. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. What is his name? Devin Witherspoon. Devin Witherspoon was a beast last week, and I was a big Devin Witherspoon fan. Now, with that being said, I don't think the rest of that defense is very good. I think Mike McDonald will make things work, but I don't understand how they're 6.5 point favorites against the Broncos. Like, I could be completely wrong, but like, Cortland Sutton's good. Javonte Williams is good. Youngstown State legend. Jaleel McLaughlin is good. Their offensive line is kind of bad. That's fair. But their defense is decent, allegedly, on paper. I don't know. Man. I think the Seahawks win this game just because it's at home in Seattle, first game of the year. But like, there's no way they beat the Broncos by more than a touchdown. Like, the 6.5 points. Seahawks win. Broncos cover. That's my prediction for this game. Over probably doesn't hit. I also think it's fine. We got the Browns versus the Cowboys. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching right now. I love you, but the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys beat the Browns. I think it's a low-scoring affair. I think the Browns' defense is really good, and their offense is not that good. Is what's his face playing? Is Deshaun Watson playing against? I have no idea what is still going on with him. Is he playing today? Let's find out. Yeah, I have no idea. If Deshaun Watson plays, I don't think he's very good. And I don't know. That was a big contract that the Browns just wasted. But Browns defense is good. Nick Chubb still isn't back yet, and so I don't think their running game will be that great until Nick Chubb comes back. Now, with that being said, the Cowboys, like, Dak Prescott literally just got paid like right before I started the stream, or like while I was in the middle of doing the stream or something. Like, regular season Dak, I love regular season Dak. Playoff Dak, not so much. But I don't know. I think the Browns are going to kick the crap out of them personally. My mom just texted me, no. Sorry, that distracted me. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to go on with this. I just think it's going to be a low scoring. I think Deshaun Watson's going to play poorly. I think Dak's going to play well, but not enough to win the game because the Browns defense is really good. They're kind of the same team. Mike McCarthy's fat and yeah, I'm picking the Browns to win just because they're at home and Mike McCarthy's fat and dumb. That's my prediction for this game. All right. We got two more for the Sunday slate, and then I'll also talk about Monday night. We got Washington versus Tampa. This is also another one I have no clue. Like, I want to see how the Tampa Bay offense looks without Dave Canales, their new guy who I feel kind of bad about that I ripped in the NFC South preview video. His offense actually looked pretty good in the preseason with Baker. Like, they were doing some cool stuff. So I think the Buccaneers offense is going to be decent this year. My issue with them is like Mike Williams. Not Mike Williams. Is it Mike Williams? Mike Evans. Yeah. Mike Williams is totally different dude. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they're getting a little old. They didn't look as good last year. So that's my issue with the Bucs offense. I think their new offensive coordinator is going to be fine. Whatever his name is, I feel bad. I made fun of him because he kind of looked dumb, but don't look dumb and I won't make fun of you. I think their offense is going to be good. I think their defense is going to be really good again, but it's the whole thing about the Bucs is the age. They're just getting older. And they got to figure out how to start weeding out some of the older players and bringing in some young talent. But I think for now, for this season, they're going to be just fine. Washington, I have no idea. Like, I think Dan Quinn's a good coach. I like Jaden Daniels, but I don't know. Like, the Commanders have just been bad and inept for so long. I have no idea what's going on with that team. They could be really good. They could be really terrible. I don't know. I just want to see it first. So for those reasons, Shark Tank, I'm going to take Tampa Bay -3.5. I think they win by like 4 points, 5 points. I think that is fair. I think it's probably going to be a defensive game. Like a lot of these like offenses take a little bit of time to heat up and go throughout the season. So yeah, I'm going to take Tampa over Washington, probably like 21 to like 17 or something like that. I could be totally wrong. I could be like way out of bounds. Like maybe Jaden Daniels comes out there and lights the world on fire. Like that wouldn't surprise me. But like I'm not gonna say it's happening until I see it happen. That's just my thought on that one. So I'm picking the Bucks for this one. All right, and then we got the Sunday night game, the Matthew Stafford revenge game. The Lions are 5-point favorites. That is nuts. And we got a 52-point over-under. Yeah, that checks out. This is going to be a high scoring affair. I still don't think the Lions defense is that good. I think they made some smart moves in the offseason, in the draft, and in free agency to improve their defense, but I still don't think it's that great. I think their offense with Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, like their offense is going to be lights out good. Their offensive line is great. They're maulers. They murder people on the football field. We love to see that. They got that Dan Campbell big ball energy where they're just like, we're going to just put our nuts in your mouth and you're going to have to deal with it. And like that's just what they do offensively. And defensively, that's what gets done to them. So yeah, I think the 51.5 point over is 100% going to hit. I think the Lions win this game. I don't think they win by 5 points or more. Like that is a big spread. Like the Rams aren't, the greatest team in the NFL. Like I still think they have a little bit of rebuilding to do. They made the playoffs last year. I think they can make a run in the playoffs if things go right for them, but there are some glaring holes and weaknesses for them defensively. But man, like I don't think they're losing to the Lions by more than 5 points. That just seems ridiculously out of bounds. So, man, Matt Stafford's back, healthy. Puka Nacua looked really good. Cooper Kupp's back. Like they got Kyren Williams, Blake Corum. Their defensive line's good. Like literally, this is just like good offense and really good offense versus like really bad defense and really bad defense. Like I don't know. I think it's gonna be way closer. Yeah, I mean like I think the Lions win by like a field goal. I think it's like 31 to like 28. I think that's like a relatively realistic score, for them. Yeah, I take Lions to win up front, and I'm going to take the Rams to cover the spread because I think that makes sense. Like, Sean McVay is too good of a coach. Matthew Stafford is too good of a quarterback to lose by like more than that in prime time. Like, Matthew Stafford returned to Detroit revenge game after the return to the Detroit playoff game. Yeah, Lions win, but Rams cover the spread. That's my opinion. And then we got the last game. The Jets starting again on Monday Night Football and from the whole world to see, just like they did last year, because nobody loves the Jets more than the entire company of ESPN. And the 49ers are going to kick the shit out of them. You heard it here first. The Jets, they did this last season, and they did it again this season, where the Jets got so unbelievably overhyped and the whole basis of the Jets like thinking they're Super Bowl contenders is they're banking on a 40-year-old quarterback coming back from an Achilles tear to carry them to the Super Bowl. Like I don't get it. Like I don't understand how this happens. And like I get it. Like Greenberg, Damian Woody, Bart Scott, they're all diehard Jets fans, and they're the face of ESPN. I'm sure there's a lot of ESPN executives who are also diehard Jets fans because it's headquartered an hour outside of Manhattan in Connecticut. Like I get it. I get why everybody in ESPN loves the Jets, but like it doesn't make logical sense. Like Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked good for like 2+ years. So like I don't understand, man. Like, just look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Wait 1 second. 7 wins, 7 wins, 4 wins, 2 wins, 7 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins, 5 wins. 2015, 10 wins, 4 wins, 8, 6, 8. And then you have the Rex Ryan, Mark Sanchez years where they were actually a good competitive team. Like, you have over a decade of just shit and losing and bad football. And you got Mike Greenberg and Bart Scott on ESPN being like, I think the Jets are the best team in the AFC to challenge the Chiefs in the AFC for the Super Bowl. It's like, no, the Jets are bad. Jets can be good. They have the potential to be good. I won't argue that point. But until the Jets actually go out there and play good football and, have a winning record, win the playoffs, like, I don't understand why everybody's just saying definitively, like, the Jets are the best team in the AFC outside of the Chiefs. Like, no, they're not. Like, it's just, they're not. I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers is old. He's washed. Their defense is overrated. I hate the Jets. I will die on this hill. The Jets suck. I hate them. A hill I am going to die on. Now, 49ers are still really good. Brock Purdy's still really good. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, who just got paid, still really good. The real question is Trent Brown going to play? Or Trent Williams going to play? And it looks like he is. Excuse me. Which is good. Yeah. I mean, George Kittle, great offensive line. Their defense is still stacked. Yeah. The 49ers are really good. And I think the Jets are going to fly out to California and everything's going to be like, this is the start of this. And the 49ers are just going to kick the shit out of the New York Jets on Monday Night Football. They are going to win by more than 3.5 points. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a bloodbath out there on the field. I don't care what anybody on ESPN or any news person says. The Jets are not a good football team until they show they're a good football team on the football field. That is a hill I am willing to die on. That's where I'm going to end the stream. Thank you all so much for watching. I know some of you were in or out. I know there's a decent amount of viewership coming. So I really appreciate anybody who was here, anybody who listened to me ramble the entire time. Really cool of you. And yeah, that is the stream. Oh my God, I totally missed a message. Should I start Pollard or Herbert? I would start Tony Pollard personally. Adrian Matute. I totally missed that message. I'm sorry I didn't see it, buddy. I didn't have my eye on the chat. But yeah, Tony Pollard, in my opinion. But yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Anybody who stopped in, stopped by. And I will see you Monday with a new NFL meeting skit. So see you guys then. I love you all. Bye.